The 1990s saw a lot of different products to hit the market. Some of them are here to stay while others were a complete flop. In today's video, we will have a closer look at some of the forgotten items of the 1990s. Thirsty Cat and Thirsty Dog bottled water for pets line was released in 1994. These bottles contained spring water that was fortified with minerals and vitamins. They came in two flavors, tangy fish for cats and crispy beef for dogs. The product flopped because most consumers didn't see the need for flavored water for their beloved pets. During the 1990s, Harley-Davidson decided to expand their product line. They had everything from cigarettes to cologne, but somehow that didn't sit too well with the die-hard bikers. The company was forced to backtrack and stop stretching their brand in other product categories. The Cosmopolitan magazine decided to enter the food market in 1999 with the introduction of the Cosmopolitan Yogurt. Initially, the yogurt seemed to appeal to their target demographic, but it was a complete failure and it was discontinued 18 months later. In 1998, Kellogg's released Breakfast Mates, which was a box combination of cereal, milk, and a spoon. It seemed like a good idea to combine the two, but most consumers actually found it to be inconvenient and messy. Most people thought it wasn't very tasty either. Breakfast Mates was discontinued soon after. The Rejuvenate face mask was launched in 1999. It was supposed to tone people's facial muscles by using shock therapy. The company claimed that this process was completely painless. However, some users claimed that it was painful and it left red marks on their faces. One user even described it as feeling like 1,000 ants were biting their face. If you look at this mask now, it really does look a bit creepy. The Newton was Apple's first tablet product and it was released in 1993. Users could take notes and faxes on the message pad. At one time, this device was groundbreaking. However, it struggled to compete with its own rival at the time, the Palm Pilot, which was also cheaper. The Newton had poor handwriting capabilities and the product ended up being discontinued. In 1992, Pepsi released a brand new version of its original formula called Crystal Pepsi. This new formula was caffeine-free and it was also completely clear. Consumers found this new product to be strange and production was halted soon after its release. In 1998, Frito-Lay's introduced Wow, which was a fat-free chip. Initially, reviews were pretty high and people were thrilled about the idea of eating as many chips as they wanted without gaining any weight. However, sales soon dropped after consumers learned that the chips contained olestra, which was a fat substitute that caused severe abdominal pain. In 1990, General Foods was ahead of their time when they released the Maxwell House's ready-to-drink brewed coffee. Today, many people enjoyed chilled coffee. However, this coffee was meant to be reheated, and that just wasn't appealing to anyone. Apple's Pippin was released in 1995 and it was a multi-purpose console that was supposed to be a gaming, web browsing, and educational device all in one. At the time, most people didn't understand the concept and there were only 42,000 out of the 100,000 units sold. The software Bob featured a friendly yellow dog and it was introduced in 1995 by Microsoft. This was supposed to make Windows user-friendly by transforming the desktop screen into an image of a room to help users understand programs better. Most people found it to be confusing and it was discontinued a year later. In 1991, McDonald's launched the Deluxe line, which was a line of healthier choices, and it began with the McLean Deluxe sandwich. The burger consisted of mustard, ketchup, lettuce, tomato, and a reduced patty that was 90% meat. The Deluxe line was a marketing failure, and the entire line was discontinued a few years later. In 1991, Coors Brewing Company released their first non-alcoholic beverage since Prohibition, and it was called the Coors Rocky Mountain Sparkling Water. Since the product had a similar name and label as their beer, it left consumers scratching their head. The sparkling water was discontinued in 1997 due to low sales. McDonald's tried selling Mexican food for a brief period in the 1990s. However, their burritos and fajitas just couldn't quite compete with Taco Bell's menu. Both of these items were taken off the menu soon after they were released. In 1999, Mattel decided to enter the computer market with the Hot Wheels and Barbie computers for boys and girls. These new PCs weren't very appealing to the young kids. Not only that, but the computers were plagued with many manufacturing issues and production stopped soon after. McDonald's Mighty Wings were first released in 1990 and they were discontinued in 2003 after most people thought that they were too expensive and spicy. They tried to bring them back in 2013, but they were discontinued once again in 2014 due to sluggish sales. In 1996, General Motors introduced its first mass-produced electric car called the EV1. The model was a big hit with environmentalists as well as some other consumers. However, 6 years after its release, the company had to recall the model, claiming liability and spare parts problems, making people very angry. Unilever introduced Persil Power Detergent to the market in 1994. This product utilized a newly patented stain removal formula called Accelerator. The company believed in their product so much that they carried out its $300 million introduction of Persil Power without any formal test marketing. It soon became apparent that the detergent was damaging clothes at high temperatures. After 9 months on the shelves, the company replaced Persil Power with Persil New Generation, which was a formula without the Accelerator compound. In 1995, Nintendo attempted to enter the virtual reality game console market with Virtual Boy. The console was discontinued less than a year later after selling just 770,000 units worldwide. It is now known as one of the company's worst failures. In order to cut costs and reduce battery drain, Nintendo only used black and red shades in Virtual Boy games, which bothered some users. This game system also caused eye strain in some users, which led Nintendo to include an automatic shut-off mechanism. During the mid-90s, fruit-flavored beverages such as Snapple became all of the rage. Lifesavers tried to hop on that bandwagon by introducing a line of non-carbonated drinks in 1995. This soda failed to gain traction with the broader consumer market. It was available in some of the candy's popular fruit flavors such as pineapple, orange punch, grape punch, and lime punch. Basically, this drink was liquid candy. It almost seems like a miracle they didn't try mint-flavored soda. Orbit soda made its debut in 1997. It was unlike any other that had ever been released. The soda looked like a lava lamp and it appealed to younger kids. However, it was not tasty and people compared it to cough syrup. The soda disappeared off of the shelves within a year. Bic has become one of the top companies when it comes to disposable pens, razors, and lighters. In 1998, they decided to offer a new product line, which was a disposable underwear and pantyhose. It may have been the brand name or the thought of disposable underwear that turned consumers off. This is one product from Bic that did not stick. In 1993, Atari released another game console called the Jaguar. In total, they released about 50 licensed games for the console, and it was $100 less than the other competitors. Those that had the system loved the hardware and the graphics, but they were not so crazy about the controller. It was way more complicated than it needed to be. Sales on this game system reached no more than 150,000 units before it was discontinued in 1996. The commercial failure of Jaguar prompted Atari to leave the console market. The Coors Brewing Company introduced another new product in the 1990s, which was Zema in 1993. It was marketed as an alternative to beer. It became an instant hit in a decade of clear-crazed sodas and drinks. Their marketing campaign tempted everyone to try it. Men made fun of it while women loved it. 1994 was known as the peak year for the beverage, and sales dwindled until it was discontinued in the U.S. in 2008. The clear beverage was brought back in 2017 for a limited time. It sold so well that they brought it back once again in 2018. It did not return in 2019. Zema remained a popular drink in Japan, and sales never dwindled like they did in the US. However, the drink was discontinued in Japan in December of 2021. The 1990s saw a lot of changes in a lot of different products. The world was changing fast, and some companies were just trying to have an edge on the market. Even though many of these things are long gone, it's fun to look back and remember them. Can you think of any others that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.